It used to be tradition for many years for a lot of families to sit around CBS and watch The Great Pumpkin, Charlie Brown. And it's, what is it, a Thanksgiving Charlie Brown?
Yeah,
And then
something
there's
like
the
that.
Christmas one, whatever it is.
Charlie Brown Christmas.
The Great Christmas Tree, Charlie Brown, whatever it is. I'm making stuff up now. Now it's on Apple TV, which Apple TV, what is it called? Apple Plus? Apple TV Plus? Anyway, now you have to pay for that service. But one thing that Apple is doing is going, listen, if you can't watch it anywhere, we will do it for free for you for Charlie Brown.
Well, the backlash from that would have been rough. If people wouldn't have been able to watch, because it's a traditional thing. We've been watching it for our whole lives.
So if somebody wants to watch on Apple TV for free the whole Charlie Brown Thanksgiving one, it's going to be November 18th and 19th. That's Saturday and Sunday before Thanksgiving.
So that's like next weekend.
Wow.
We're
that close to Thanksgiving?
I know, my goodness.
Man. And then the Charlie Brown Christmas, it's like 2 weekends before Christmas.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah.
Time is here. I introduced our little grandbaby to Santa Claus is Coming to Town, the claymation. Introduced her to that Saturday night.
Really? This early? You have to wait till after Thanksgiving for that one.
I put my tree up, and we watched Santa Claus is Coming to Town.
Her tree up.
In the bedroom, just the one.
Wow.
Because we put up maybe 3 or 4.
So Scott has the best way to watch any of the Charlie Brown holiday movies or specials.
We just bought the DVDs.
There you go. And you can watch it whenever you want.
We can do it whenever we want to, but I will say it's not quite like it used to be when it came on CBS, and you had to make sure that it was aired like once or twice maybe, and you marked it on the calendar like 8:30 on Friday night. You couldn't miss it. Now it's, I don't know, a little less dramatic when you've got the DVDs.
On demand is nice.
See,
it is. Watch it when you want.
I liked when it was super special that you set an appointment to be there because you knew if you missed it, you had to wait until the next year. And I would cry every time when the credits rolled. Every single time because I knew I won't see this until next year.
You never have to cry again because you can watch it whenever you want. If you do what Scott did, buy it on the DVD, you've always got it.
But now it's not as special.
Yeah,
it's really not.
It's still special.
It's not as special because if you get up and you have to go potty or, the phone rings or whatever.
You had to time those bathroom breaks.
Right? You did. You had to get it in 2.5 minutes or you were out.
Now it's commercial free. I mean, life's great. Embrace the on-demand.
No, I want it special again.
Oh, so now she wants commercials.
You're listening to Rob and Lizz in the morning.
His radio.
You might remember this maybe from your childhood or maybe your grandparents remember this. Listen real close. That was the CBS special presentation, and then Charlie Brown would come on after that.
Oh, my goodness gracious. Like, such memories. I would not have been able to bring that out of my memory bank, but when I hear it, absolutely.
I know, right?
Transported.
You can see the logo. It's like special, just swirling around and spinning and all that stuff. I know Scott has a great memory of that.
That is one of my favorite sounds because I knew it was coming. One of the super special, Thanksgiving or Christmas episodes of something. And that was major in my childhood.
Right. You got all of them. The Santa Claus, I think it was. Santa Claus is coming to town.
Santa Claus is coming to town.
I'm trying to remember the claymation one.
The Year Without a Santa Claus.
Oh, my. And then Charlie Brown would come on after that.
Oh, my God. Oh, no. The Year Without a Santa Claus, and you had Heat Miser and Snow Miser.
So Pat's here at 800-447-7234. So you have a memory, Pat?
My mom and my brother and I, we watched the Charlie Brown Christmas. We watched the Charlie Brown Thanksgiving. We watched the pumpkin one. And Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, all of those things. When we knew they were coming on, we would make a Jiffy popcorn, the one that has the big expanding aluminum lid, and pull up a cushion or sit on the couch and watch it as a family.
Let me tell you, that's the best popcorn ever. The Jiffy Pop?
Oh, I love it. And then you pop the
really
top
good.
of it, and the steam came out, and the butter, and the smell.
Yeah.
Oh, we got to go get Jiffy Pop
And
now.
the constant shaking, it was fun. It gave the kids avenue for their excitement, right? We're just shake it so hard because we're so excited.
You're listening to Rob and Lizz in the morning.
His radio.
So you go out to a nice dinner, and the kids get a little unruly. Maybe they're, throwing the rice that they're eating, or maybe they're being a little loud or whatever. You could get a surcharge. This is happening at a restaurant in Toccoa.
Isn't that wild? Isn't it like $50?
What I'm hearing is it's kind of all over the place. So, like, one person had said, well, it wasn't as much as $50, and it may be because my kids weren't crazy unruly. Somebody else did get a surcharge. And it tells you on the menu that you could be charged, and it even has like $2 or $3 signs beside it to say if your kids get out of hand. So
I'm glad that the restaurant that I was at, when my oldest was like, oh, he must have been 6 or 7. We were at Orion's or, one of those kind of places. He went out the exit that had the alarm on it. You know how you push the thing and the whole alarm door goes off and it's screaming and all that. We would have got charged.
Well, did the fire department show up?
No,
Oh, okay,
because it's
good.
the door. Remember the door?
Yeah, but
so
I
the
thought
door
it was...
has an exit thing
Yeah.
on it, and when you push it, there's an alarm just on the door.
Okay, I thought it was like connected to the fire department or something to say they're exiting, they're evacuating, so we got to get over there.
Not
okay,
that
at least
one. No.
at least not that. Well, that's good.
No, we would have got charged, I'm sure.
Well,
I am sure. So what was it? Scott was like, what'd your daughter do? I'm trying to remember.
She was like 3 or 4. We were in a restaurant, and she's big on ranch dressing, so she loves the ranch. So they brought her like a little container of ranch, pretty big in a bowl, one of the small restaurant bowls. They put like salsa in sometimes. So it was full of ranch, and she was just having a bad day. She grabbed it and just flung it. And it went all over the floor nearby. I don't know if it splattered on the people near us or not, but yeah, it was quite a mess.
That's funny.
well, yeah, but except you got to get it out of the carpet at that point. Hopefully
Yeah.
there wasn't carpeting.
Scott would have got charged.
Yeah.
We had-
I'm sure that would have been a charge.
Oh,
had they
I'm
charged.
sure. Well, we had toddlers that were 17 months apart, so they were always throwing rice or food. And, you try. And it got to the point where for about a year, we just didn't go anywhere because we're like, we don't want to deal
Hey,
with it.
sometimes our kids would get messy, but we would get a broom and clean it up ourselves.
Sure. But that's what you spent your whole meal doing. Now you're paying $40, $50 for all the people in your family, and you're cleaning up. It's just not worth it sometimes.
Just stay home.
That's what we did.
Rob and Liz.
His morning crew.
Rebecca said her kids did something in a restaurant one time. I think it was your son. What happened here, Rebecca? You're on his radio.
My son, when he was like 2 years old, we went to Long John Silver's, and he wanted corn on the cob. And when he got done eating that corn on the cob, he threw the ear. And the beehive hairdos that ladies have, like Church of God hairdos?
Yes.
It missed this woman's head by just inches.
I'm so glad it didn't land in it.
I was like so embarrassed, and I was like, no, you don't do that. But we were teaching them how to throw a ball, and kids are kids, but the lady was very sweet. She's like, oh, it's okay. I have boys. Boys will be boys. But that was just a memory I had when I was listening to you guys on the radio. I love your radio station. It always keeps me upbeat and, gives me a positive attitude. And whenever I'm not having a good day, the right song always comes on. So I just appreciate y'all so much.
Well, thank you, Rebecca. We're so grateful you're a part of the family.
Well, you guys have a great day.
Rob and Liz.
His morning crew.
There's a group of people, supposedly, that are moving to places like South Dakota, North Dakota, Idaho, Kansas.
Well, that's the simple life going to those places. I don't know why I think simple life when I think of those states.
Well, because, there's not really those big cities. Fargo, right? But I still don't think it's that big of a city if you compare it to places like Atlanta or,
I've never been, so I
Me
don't. Yeah, so I don't know how big it is. I know the name,
Right.
So it makes me think it's a bigger city.
Yeah. Well, it is, I think the capital of North Dakota. I don't know. But this group of people, it's Gen Zers, they say, are moving there for a simpler way of life so that they get away from the big city and all of the traffic and all of the distractions and, maybe putting the phones down a little more. And I'm like, Gen Z, I feel like everybody in my family wants a little bit of that.
A simpler life.
A simpler life. Just, without all of the distractions. It's great to live in a place that offers a lot of different things, hobbies, that kind of thing, different restaurants. But at the same time, you just feel like you never slow down.
So I have one son who's 22. Is he 22? Yeah, Spencer's 22, and his wife Grace. They're barely on their social media.
Isn't that great?
Barely. And they go camping all the time. So they're in the great outdoors. So they are, while they're in a bigger city, they do live a simple life.
And you can make that choice even if you live in a bigger city. It's just how you take in everything. If you're trying to be out every Thursday, Friday, Saturday, you're not living the simple life, and maybe you miss out on some of that.
Oh, well, it depends on what going out every Thursday, Friday, Saturday is.
But it could even be just to dinner or hanging out with friends or going to a movie or like and I feel like there are some people that absolutely have to be busy all the time or they just feel they get bored.
Yeah.
But no, I like
I've
that
become more
simple.
and more of a homebody. I like being home more than I like traveling nowadays.
Look, I make not appointments, but I'll make time. I'll schedule with friends or whatever. And as it gets closer to the day that we're going to hang out, I'm like, I don't want to go.
See, Scott hits the town just about every weekend. He is out. He's about. He's bringing all in culture. I mean,
Yeah,
it's
right.
amazing.
I'm just like you, Rob. I am so fine just being at home, introverted, hanging out in the yard or whatever, just doing something in solitude.
It's nice.
Just beekeeping, doing that kind of thing.
Beekeeping.
Oh, I
tried
can.
Where'd
that.
you pull that out from?
When he said he's in the
Beekeeping.
backyard.
Rob and Lizz.
His morning crew.
Out of curiosity, I wonder what your Thanksgiving feast is going to look like. It's Rob and Lizz in the morning, his radio. Let's start with Scott. Okay. Scott, few questions for you.
Okay.
You ready? Okay, here we go. You will have a turkey, right? Roasted turkey?
Correct.
Okay.
Correct.
Sweet potatoes?
Yes. Casserole.
Okay. Green beans?
Maybe. There might be a green bean casserole. Maybe
Okay.
not.
This is always up for debate for some people because mine comes in a can. Cranberries?
Oh, yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Sorry about
It's
that.
a must.
And how about wild rice?
No.
No rice? Liz?
No. Yeah, we
Any of
don't-
those ingredients?
Yeah, all
Or-
of those except for the wild rice. We
No
don't
rice?
do rice at Thanksgiving.
Okay. Well, then I don't know if the Campbell's Soup Thanksgiving feast will be for any of them. For Liz or for Scott. I like the rice, so. Because Campbell's Soup is going to have chunky soup, and they're going to put all those dishes into one can, and you won't have to go and buy an expensive Thanksgiving feast, just have the soup.
Or if you're kind of anti-Thanksgiving foods, maybe it's an alternative for you because
How is that an alternative? It's all the
Because-
Thanksgiving foods in a can.
It is, but it's not because you don't have the dressing, you don't have mashed potatoes and gravy, you don't have pumpkin pie in it, that kind of.
No, that
'Cause-
would be gross.
Well, you never know, sweet and salty.
Rob and Lizz.
His morning crew.
It's Rob and Liz in the morning, his radio.
All right, we don't even have to thaw out that turkey. We don't have to get the mashed potatoes done. We don't have to do anything. We just need to buy a pizza for Thanksgiving because DiGiorno has come out with a Thanksgiving pizza.
A frozen Thanksgiving pizza? What in the world's on the top of it?
Okay, so you've got turkey. You've also got, so instead of like your pizza sauce, you got gravy. That's
No.
your base. Yeah.
Really?
Yes. And then you've got diced potatoes, sweet potatoes, green beans, cranberries, which I think is a little odd, but they're trying to.
Yuck.
I know, right? To mix all that
How do you
together.
pick that off that pizza?
Well, listen, I know people that mix all that stuff on their plate anyway, like the turkey and the gravy and the cream. Ugh. Okay, mozzarella. They do have the cheese, but they also put cheddar cheese on it. And then I guess to represent the green bean casserole, they have those little crispy onions on the top.
What about the mashed potatoes?
There's no mashed potatoes. There's diced sweet potatoes. But I'm tracking with Rob here because I think if you're going to put gravy as your base, then you need to have a layer of mashed potatoes.
You would
miss
think.
the mark. Miss the mark.
You would think, but I feel like Scott is trying to do anything he can to avoid making a full Thanksgiving feast because he wants this pizza.
Well, one of my favorite things about Thanksgiving is the day after the leftovers and making the sandwich. I love to make like a sandwich with leftovers. So this is like a twist on that. Instead of bread, you just have a flat piece of bread. Make a pizza out of
So
it.
you're going to make your own homemade Thanksgiving pizza, it sounds like.
I'm thinking about it now with this
Huh.
little twist I'm hearing about.
I think it would be great. Maybe you could take like the leftover rolls or biscuits, to make your bread part of it, right? And then layer all the stuff on it and put it in like pizza.
Now you're talking.
Rob and Lizz.
His morning crew.
Rob and Lizz in the morning, his radio. So Leonardo DiCaprio drove this car in a movie. It's a Lamborghini. The thing is all dented up because I guess it was in a wreck in the movie. I've never seen this movie that he was in, that this car was in. But it's a white. Is it white? I'm colorblind.
It's
It looks
white.
white to me.
Yeah.
A white Lamborghini. The thing is all dented up. And on the auction block, it's expected to go between 1.5 and 2.5 million bucks.
I don't even understand. Like, you could get an actual, like, straight off the showroom floor Lamborghini for probably that or even less. I don't shop for Lamborghinis.
So there's going to be somebody who's well-to-do that'll add it to a collection that will be in some big garage somewhere of all these other fancy cars.
But you're just going to put it in a garage. I just
Yeah.
don't get it. I don't get it.
Somebody will collect it who can afford it, which is okay. For me, it's just, give me a nice Toyota Corolla. I'll be all right.
I collect nutcrackers, and somebody's out there collecting Lamborghinis.
Rob and Lizz.
His morning crew.
If you happen to use DoorDash, which I'm a rare breed, I go and pick stuff up. I very rarely have something delivered unless it's like Amazon and UPS or something like that. But evidently, there's some cities that DoorDash has put a warning on their app when you open it up to order from them saying, hey, if you don't leave a tip, then you might not get your food warm.
Right?
It might not come to you, which I have a couple of questions. Number one, are you supposed to tip in advance?
They like you to, yes.
So this is the thing. So DoorDash, the drivers, those who deliver for them, which is like an Uber, so it's just normal folk like you and me that are delivering in their own cars. If they don't see a tip, it's like, well, if I'm not getting a tip, I'm going to go to another one that has a tip on it, and I'll pick that one up and deliver that.
Yeah. If I was a driver, I would do the same thing.
Yeah, exactly. Which to me, I usually don't tip until I get my stuff.
So you see how the service was, if you got it quickly, if it was above and beyond.
Yeah, if it was actually warm and not cold and all that other stuff, if they were kind, if they were courteous, that would be more of a tip. So in a sense, some drivers might not be getting the tip that they deserve.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. But
Right?
you can go back. You can go back and add more if you would like to. Like it says, rate your driver on, and I don't know about DoorDash because I haven't used it in a good long while. I know Grubhub because I stayed somewhere recently where at the hotel I was staying in, you got a coupon code and free delivery. So I was like, okay, I can do that. And I went ahead and tipped because you kind of have to. But I didn't add anything because I honestly didn't even know the food was there. Like, there was no knock on the door. There was nothing. And so I was like, when is it going to? Oh, it's here.
It's already sitting out the door?
I had to go into, like, the app or the email and see that it was there. But, I mean, I guess I would be, the same way. Okay, this one says I get a 10% tip, and this one says I get a 25% tip. You do the math.
Well, so back up a little bit. What if it was a bad delivery?
So
You can't take away the tip, can you? Or lessen the tip?
You can, I don't know about that, but you can probably reach out to the company and say, okay, so I gave them 25% ahead of time, but it was really terrible. So we had ordered, I can't remember when it was, like forever ago, here at the station about like getting breakfast one time. And it was all in the yard. I don't know
What do
if
you
Rob
mean, all in
remembers
the
this.
yard?
So the drinks were flipped over, like they had dropped them coming in. They were covered in like grass. And dirt, the bag, the drinks, the everything. And I'm sure it was a mistake, but didn't tell us, hey, we're going to go back and replace this. Yeah. And so, we didn't go back and take the tip, but it was kind of like, wish I'd have known that you weren't going to fix it. Half my drinks in the yard.
Okay. So, moral of the story, you want your womb, your womb. I'm just going to leave it at that.